Ready for a new adventure with a friend? Here are 10 excellent 2-player games to choose from.
Whoa, slow down! Okay.
The memories you make in co-op games are some of the best you and your friends will ever have. And unless you like to rob banks, cook food on spaceships, or solve mysteries in your spare time, they're experiences you can't have anywhere else. Here we're going to run you through 10 of the best 2-player games that will have you laughing, puzzle solving, and if you're not careful, arguing. One thing we can all agree on, however, is that subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell is the best way to stay up to date on all our new videos. Now let's jump straight in.
What now?
There are no relationships without challenges. Challenges make you grow!
What is it with you? Can't you just leave us alone?
It Takes Two is the newly released, long-awaited co-op game from Hazelight Studios, who brought you A Way Out, more on that in a sec, and the heartbreaking Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. If you needed any more proof that Hazelight are the masters when it comes to truly unique co-op gaming experiences,
Nice one!
just a little look at the beautiful ragdoll animation style and inventive puzzles should do the trick.
Hey, Rose needs both of us, okay?
That's not fair. Using her.
I'm not using her. I'm just stating a fact.
In It Takes Two, you and a friend play as parents May and Cody, who are currently going through a divorce, and have found themselves transported into two dolls made by their daughter.
Why do you look like a wooden doll?
To get them back into their own bodies, you must work together with your co-op buddy and solve a series of puzzles.
Yes, I'm the champion!
Not fair!
It's a truly memorable experience that plays with size and scale and will have you fighting alongside squirrels, defying gravity in space, and flying fidget spinners, all in a day's work for a parent.
Hey! This is kind of like that haunted house ride!
Please don't remind me!
You were so scared!
You didn't like it either!
Yeah? The worst first date ever.
But we survived!
I just hope we survive this ride too!
In A Way Out, you and a friend will both choose whether to play as the gruff, no-nonsense Vincent or the young and naive Leo, two prisoners locked up in maximum security whose main goal is, surprise, surprise, to escape.
There's a difference between overthinking things and being smart, Leo.
Are you implying that I'm not smart?
Your words, not mine.
It's a split-screen co-op adventure that will have you solving puzzles together, splitting up to take on challenges by yourself, and helping one another out. It will put your relationship to the test as it forces you to rely on one another to complete tasks, and have each other's backs, literally.
Whoa, slow down! Okay.
The best part about A Way Out is how it takes the puzzle format and turns it into a fast-paced, unrelenting escapade that'll make you feel like you have a starring role in an action movie. From whitewater rafting to motorbike chases, A Way Out is nothing like the puzzle games you're used to in the best possible way.
Hey, Leo. Yeah, I'm done. All right, let's wait until the lights go out.
Now we go from motorbike chases to bicycle races. Knights and Bikes is a quirky co-op that's all about friendship, exploration, and geese? Set to a headbanging soundtrack, you and your partner will play as Demelza and Nessa, best friends who, along with their pet goose Captain Honkers, have formed the Penfurzy Rebel Bicycle Club, and, as their first order of business, are setting off to explore the island on their customizable bikes. Throughout the game, you'll be exchanging the scrap you find on your journey for shiny new bike upgrades, flags, and paint jobs.
Cyclotron 2000. Let's go!
Knights and Bikes is a coming-of-age story like The Goonies, but with an adorable hand-painted art style and an aforementioned goose. You and your chosen friend will explore the coast, hunt for treasure, and defeat anyone or anything standing in their way with a childlike determination. And if that fails, a few water balloons. You might think us greedy, but when it came to choosing between the two current entries in the Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan and Little Hope, we finally settled on both. The Dark Pictures Anthology is a series of decision-based co-op horror games, where players will take on the roles of multiple characters and try to keep them alive. In Man of Medan, 5 teams explore a ghost ship after their relaxing boat trip takes a dark turn.
Drop it, Buster.
And in Little Hope, a school trip becomes a time-traveling witch hunt.
Going the wrong way.
It's fine, just a quick detour.
You'll root for characters, you'll sort of hate others, but through quick time events, quick decisions, and problem solving, you'll be desperate to keep them all alive by the end. The Dark Pictures Anthology doesn't stop at these 2 games either. The 3rd entry, House of Ashes, is coming in 2021, with 5 other games expected to arrive after. Up to 4 players can don masks in the action-packed co-op shooter Payday 2. You'll be taking on contracts ranging from kidnapping to high-stakes bank heists with your friends, and putting your relationships to the test as you take on jobs that never play out the same way twice.
Everybody stay down, all of you! Everybody stay down!
You have to consider skills, as players can invest in anything from technician to ghost to help them in different ways, and weapons and modifications to pull off a heist. There are plenty of different approaches to take too, from slow and stealthy to all guns blazing. Just make sure you and your partners agree on a playstyle before 3 of you sneak in unnoticed and the 4th starts firing random warning shots in the middle of a bank. It's a game that rewards planning and precision, as a well-choreographed heist is guaranteed to play out better than one that's made up on the spot.
Okay, that's the last of them. Now we need to make sure no one knows what happened here.
If you manage to play all the previous entries on this list without so much as a single disagreement between you and your gaming partner, perhaps it's time to kick things up a notch. Presenting Overcooked 2, the 2nd chaotic cooking co-op from Team 17. Overcooked 2 is all about working together to prepare dishes. You need to cook fries and strategize if you want to complete each level, and you'll get a star rating from 1 to 3 depending on how many dishes you send out. It isn't just about preparing Michelin star-worthy dishes, however. Overcooked 2 throws plenty of environmental obstacles in your way. Levels range from cooking in a hot air balloon to coordinating your kitchen via a series of conveyor belts. You'll need to communicate with your sous chef, and some levels will require multiple attempts to really nail. As you progress through the levels, however, you'll find your team getting into a rhythm, and it is incredibly satisfying getting 3 stars on every level. Don't Starve Together is a harsh wilderness survival game in a world full of dangers and surprises. It has a suitably sinister style to go with the uncompromising gameplay. It's dark, gothic, and the character design is reminiscent of a series of unfortunate events. There are plenty of characters to choose from, and each have their own personality traits and quirks. To excel in Don't Starve Together, aside from trying not to starve, you'll have to craft, battle, and resource mine to make it in the treacherous landscape of each biome. It'll take a few attempts before you start to find a rhythm with Don't Starve Together, and it certainly requires planning and communication between you and your co-op partner. When it finally clicks though, there are a few things more satisfying than starting to build up your resources, take on monsters, and generally starting to thrive in Don't Starve Together. If you fancy finding out exactly what type of person your co-op partner is, Moon Hunters is a roguelike action RPG that the developer describes as being a personality RPG. You and your co-op buddies will get to choose between 6 characters, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, before setting out on a journey to find the moon, in the hopes of stopping the evil sun cult. What really sets Moon Hunters apart from other co-op experiences, though, are the choices you make. Players can decide who they want to be. You can help others or keep your resources to yourself. The game lasts under an hour, but after each playthrough you can unlock new items and abilities that will keep you coming back. The possibility of multiple endings depending on how you play will also mean you and your friends will be desperate to dive back in as soon as one playthrough ends. Forget having to choose which adorable animals to play as in Overcooked 2, or which of the poor, undeserving teens you need to keep alive in Man of Medan. In Portal 2, you are faced with an even more difficult decision. Do you play as the tall one or the short one?
This next test is so outside the box, won't even tell you what you were looking for. You will know it when you find it.
Portal 2 is an utterly iconic puzzle platformer where you and your teammate will use a portal gun to solve levels. Communication is key here, as puzzles often involve you and your teammate executing plays with absolute precision. If your friend shoots a portal a second too late, you'll find yourself hurtling towards a solid wall and probably an argument. The Portal series is wickedly funny, and solving the more difficult puzzles will leave you feeling immensely satisfied. So if you want to venture into aperture science with a pal, we thoroughly recommend giving Portal 2 a try.
Congratulations. You managed to complete this absolutely meaningless test.
There are few things better than getting to run around a quaint English village, wreaking havoc as a very naughty goose. Except, perhaps, getting to run around a quaint English village wreaking havoc as very naughty geese. Almost exactly a year after the game's initial release, developer House decided to add a second wicked waterfowl to run, flap, and honk around with. You still have your checklist to work through, which will see you stealing items from poor, unsuspecting villagers, causing them to argue amongst themselves and question their own sanity. But this time, you'll have a friend to puzzle solve alongside. Although it does involve some strategic thinking, Untitled Goose Game is a much more relaxed co-op experience than some of our previous entries. So if Overcooked 2 has left things feeling a little tense, perhaps teaming up to ruin everyone else's day might be just what you both need. So those are 10 top-notch two-player games to try. Make sure to send this video to your co-op partner so you can choose your next gaming adventure together. Or if you're watching this because you've been sent it by a friend, can we just say how lucky you are to have someone in your life who is subscribed to Logitech G? They have truly excellent taste. You should stick with them. Let us know in the comments which game you'll be taking on with your player 2. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.